I want to congratulate the candidates. It's been a great debate so far. I had someone come up to me and say, I'm sad that all four of them are running for governor because I don't want to see three of these people lose. So it's an impressive group. I do want to state that the winner of the GOP primary in June, Ms. Janice has agreed to come back and debate you, the winner, in this room in late July, and Mr. Varela and Mr. Hyman have agreed to debate as well. So look forward to an email and an announcement to another debate in July. So we want a commitment here from all of you. If you win it, you're coming back in July.
Yeah.
All right, Arnold?
No commitment, Judge. We got if I'm your nominee, let me tell you, we'll do the very best we can to be where we need to be. But at the end of the day, the object is to beat Hyman.
All righty, you're ready for the lightning round. Again, please do not be evasive, yes or no, or a few words. We're going to start with Doug. I'm sorry, Mr. Kerman.
You were going to start with...
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Domenici. Mr. Domenici, do you believe the state of New Mexico should require voters to show some form of identification at the polls prior to being allowed to vote?
Yes.
We're going to move left to right.
Yes.
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 That was an easy one.
It's softball for the Republican.
Representative, as governor, would you support replacing the death penalty with life in prison with no opportunity for parole?
That is the current law.
So yes, you would support that.
That is the current law. So that's yes.
Your question...
Let's re-ask the question. Do you want to know where we stand on the death penalty?
As governor, would you support and maintain the status quo of replacing the death penalty with life in prison with no opportunity for parole?
That is the current
That's the
law.
current
So
law.
that's yes. That is the current law.
Yeah, you would not seek to repeal it.
No.
Okay, Mr. Turner.
No.
Colonel.
I would seek to impose the death penalty.
You have a chance.
I would seek to repeal that law, which would reimpose the death penalty.
Mr. Turner, as governor, would you have supported the legalizing of marijuana for medicinal purposes in the state?
Yes.
Colonel Way.
That is the law. And I would leave the law alone. I just make these guys pay taxes.
Legalizing taxes. Mr. Domenici. Mr. Domenici.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. Yes, with no extensions of it.
Representative.
Yes, but the delivery system and safeguards need to be improved.
Colonel Way, as governor, would you continue to support and fund the operation of the New Mexico Railroad Express train?
I would review the rail runners' operations from top to bottom with the ultimate objective of making it run in a fiscally responsible way. Terminating it is the choice of last resort, but it too would be on the table.
Mr. Domenici.
I'll agree with Colonel White.
Representative.
We're broke. We're probably going to have to close the railroad.
Mr. Turner.
I'll agree with Alan.
Where Mr. Domenici, as governor, would you support a bill requiring all convicted drunken drivers to install alcohol sensing ignition interlocks on their vehicles? Convicted drunken drivers.
Yes.
Representative.
Yes, and they need to pay for their own interlock.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Whit, Colonel White.
Re-ask the question, Judge.
As governor, would you support a bill requiring all convicted drunken drivers to install an alcohol sensing ignition interlock on their vehicles?
Yes.
Representative, would you support a bill attempting to define marriage only as between a man and a woman?
I would support it, and I've introduced it.
Mr. Turner.
I'm just, as governor, I'm not interested in redefining the definition of marriage. We already have the Defense of Marriage Act on the federal level.
Colonel White. Colonel White.
If that bill came to our desk, I would sign it. I am pro-family and stated my objection to any change in the definition of marriage as being anything other than between a man and a woman.
Mr. Domenici.
Yes, I would sign that.
Colonel Way, would you support a bill establishing non-tribal casinos in the state for gambling?
Say that again, please, Jack.
Would you support a bill establishing non-tribal casinos in the state for gambling purposes?
No.
Mr. Benji?
Not the way you stated it, not unlimited casinos or, no.
So you believe casinos belong only on tribal lands?
That isn't what we said. That's what I said.
No, that's not the way I understood it.
We've got a gambling problem in this state, we don't need to add to it. So therefore, the simple answer to your question is, I wouldn't add to it by adding non-Indian casinos. The state lottery provides is adequate income for education purposes and satisfies whatever impulse somebody might have to gamble. Other than that, they go to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mr. Domenici, casinos on non-tribal land.
I would add additional casinos, or try to add additional casinos to the compact level of casinos that are allowed.
Representative?
We already have casinos, as you stated it would be a breach of the compact, so no.
No.
Mr. Domenici, would you support legislation aimed at regulating payday loans in the state of New Mexico?
Yes.
Representative?
We already have regulation of payday loans.
We already have regulation on payday loans, and I would not regulate the title loan industry, which is different.
Colonel?
In principle, I agree with oversight of payday loans, but before I answer a simple question, I'm going to say I would look at what exists before I would simply give you that answer yet.
Representative, do you support requiring minors to notify their parents before having an abortion?
Yes, and I'd introduce that bill too.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Colonel?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Turner, would you support abolishing the sale of junk food in the New Mexico public schools?
Yes.
Colonel?
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes, but we got to work on the USDA's definition of food.
Colonel Way, as governor, would you support legislation aimed at eliminating tax lightning, which is the dramatic rise in a property value's assessment after a home has been sold? So as governor, would you support legislation to eliminate tax lightning?
Yes, I want legislation where the treatment is, for property taxes, is equitable.
Mr. Domenici?
I would work to solve the tax lightning issue through legislation. I don't think we need to wait for the courts.
Been working on it, it's a mess, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Domenici, as governor, would you have supported the additional 75-cent tax increase on every pack of cigarettes, which the objective of the New Mexico legislature was to raise $33 million, one-third of it which is going to go to education. But the question is, would you have supported a 75-cent tax increase per pack of cigarettes?
In the last session?
Yes.
Yes.
Representative?
I voted no, it's a bigger story.
No.
No.
Representative, as governor, would you continue to support broad tax credits for the film industry?
No.
I think the effectiveness of those tax credits remains to be seen. I'd actually like to see more tax credits to more industries in the state.
Colonel Way?
I review it to make sure the state of New Mexico is getting an equitable return on the investment. With the current administration, everything they've done, which is concealed from us for the most part, we don't know whether we're making money. I'm talking about the taxpayers. I don't know whether we're making money or we're losing money. But if it's a state investment, we're better than making money.
Mr. Domenici?
I would review it with the potential of making it much stricter or eliminating it.
Representative, would you support legislation to eliminate cell phone use in vehicles, both on the phone and texting while driving?
We've already done that. But beyond what has already been done, the answer is no.
Mr. Turner?
I support the existing law. Same with Janice.
Colonel?
I would support legislation that makes it a misdemeanor to use a handheld cell phone in your car if you're the driver and texting, because just like a DUI, if somebody's focused on this doggone cell phone, I don't know about you folks, but I've almost been in several accidents because someone's not paying attention. And if it's your daughter or your son loses their life because somebody is texting when they should be driving, that should be against the law.
I support the existing law.
In the last legislative, this question from Mr. Turner, in the last legislative session, the legislature looked at a bill to increase funding for pre-K education. Would you support increasing funding for pre-K?
Yes.
Colonel?
I'm not going to support increasing anything till I see the way it's spent right now.
I would like to have additional resources for pre-K, but I need to look at it.
Representative?
I think you have to limit it until you have proven programs to be done.
And the last question, if you win the primary in June, will all of you return to debate this status in the same venue as July?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Thank you all, candidates. We're going to do some Q&A right now. We're going to take some photos with you. We appreciate your time. You're in a busy campaign. The primary is in how many days is the primary candidate?
33.
33 days?
Who's counting?
Yeah.
It's 32 days, and I'm counting.
Thank you all very much for your time. I have a microphone that goes about 7 feet. Does anybody have a question of the candidates? Nothing? We covered it all? Someone had a pretty big question.
Over here.
Mr. Turner, would you rethink your billboard that asks people to text Doug to so-and-so number that's on the freeway while we're driving, encouraging us to text?
Well, for the last 5 months, I had a billboard that had my website on it, and my expectation was not that you were going to log on and go to my website on your phone. So the billboards are up for another 30 days, and I'll revise that afterwards. But you should text 54608. If you text Doug, I'll make sure that we can let you know where to vote and when.
Any other questions? Thank you, Rich Luna, President of MVCPA. Thank you, Mountain View Commercial Property Association. Thank you, candidates.
Thank you.